Let's welcome to our show back again is Shelby Talcott. Shelby is a Daily Caller journalist who has been reporting on the ground on the front lines of these riots. Shelby, it's great to see you again. You were there at the riots this weekend. Tell us what you saw.
Yeah, Liz, so there's been a ton of unrest. We typically see huge crowds earlier in the night, starting around, 9, and it's fairly peaceful at that time. But as the night goes on, 10:30, 11 o'clock, there's a huge group of protesters or rioters who turn their focus onto the federal courthouse. And they've been told, there's warnings given by federal officers, don't touch the fence, don't try to break through. And time again, night after night, they're trying to breach the fence. And it starts sort of this war every night on the streets of downtown Portland.
Were the riots going down? Were they de-escalating until the administration sent in federal forces? The Democrats like Joe Biden saying they are peaceful protests. Jerry Nadler saying Antifa violence in Portland is a quote myth. What are your thoughts on both of those issues?
We weren't here before federal officers were deployed, but certainly from people we've spoken to, these protests have been ongoing and really haven't showed a major sign of slowing down. By the time we got here, the courthouse was it's littered in graffiti. There's things on the street from fires being set and fireworks going off. And I saw that clip the other day of Jerry Nadler saying that, Antifa is a myth and the violence here in Portland is just a DC lie, essentially. And the videos we've taken all week kind of speak for themselves, and it's very clearly not the case, I think.
What do the rioters want? Do they want, defund the police? Do they want income inequality solved? I think you heard them chanting a certain chant. Can you tell us what they want and what will make them stop?
So we did hear them. One of the chants that I think stood out to me the most was they were saying they're not going to stop until all the precincts are burned to the ground. So this is an extreme attitude, and they want the federal officers out. But who knows, if the federal officers leave, will they leave the courthouse alone? I'm not sure. So they're angry at the federal officers. They're angry at the police officers. I think that they just want all of this defunded. They want the officers out of Portland. And night after night, we're seeing there's no slowing down.
Yeah, no slowing down. Polls by outfits like Pew Research show many Americans welcome racial and ethnic diversity and believe their community should be diverse. People support peaceful protests as it is stipulated under our founding documents for our country. We are, Shelby, in an unprecedented historic moment, a pandemic triggering significant joblessness, a fight over police brutality. But from where you sit, it seems like it's now morphed away from that and changed into something else. Rioters now shooting people shot in Austin, Texas, and Aurora, Colorado. And talk to us about Portland police finding a bag of rifle ammunition and Molotov cocktails after responding to a chaos in a park in Portland near the protests. Can you talk to us about that?
Yeah, so we don't have much more information besides their statement. They found numerous bullets and Molotov cocktails in a bag right near the courthouse. There's been a stabbing of a Trump supporter the other night. There were shots fired in another incident. So it's clearly escalating. And I think your earlier point about the unrest sort of branching off from the original reason that these protests started is really accurate. We've seen it time and time again, in Seattle, in Washington, D.C., in New York City. There's definitely different groups that are now taking advantage of why these protests first started.
Do you see police showing restraint? Do you see them showing restraint, taking a hands-off approach, but then they have to respond when attacked? Because in Seattle, they torched construction buildings at the site of a new youth detention center. Rioters vandalized, cop vehicles in New York and in Philly. In Los Angeles, protesters attacked police officers. Do you see officers showing restraint?
Yes, so every night we've been on the ground, officers have issued multiple warnings before coming out and deploying crowd control munitions. So we'll hear over the loudspeaker, the first warning is typically don't touch the fence, don't try to breach the perimeter. The second warning, when these rioters ignore the first warning, is typically this has been declared an unlawful assembly, leave the area immediately. Nobody typically listens, and then, the officers are forced to come out. And during this time when these warnings are being issued, it's a result of fireworks being thrown at the courthouse, fires being set inside the fence. They throw bags of garbage over the fence and then light it on fire. All sorts of things are being tossed, and then they continue to be tossed when officers come out to disperse the crowd.
Yeah. And now we've got police officers releasing their body cam footage. We just showed it in Seattle to show you what they're dealing with. Shelby, Seattle now in the process of cutting its police budget in half, and the chief of police there, Carmen Best, now effectively warning local Seattle businesses, you're on your own, because the city council has hamstrung us in how we can respond to these rioting. And we've been reporting, Shelby, we told the viewers about rioters across the country now exposing police officers and their families' home addresses and phone numbers on the internet. The rioters showed up at the home of acting Homeland Security Secretary Chad Wolf. Are you hearing about that as well, that this is now, as you point out, morphed into something else, that now they're showing up at their personal homes to basically protest? What's your reaction?
I've heard reports of that, and numerous officers have been doxxed and had their information made public. I think it's dangerous. These officers, from what I've seen on the ground in Portland, are just trying to do their job. We actually saw, when it was declared a riot Saturday night, while there were multiple people detained, they also let multiple people go. They picked them up. We have a video of one officer literally picking up a mom off the ground and just telling her to leave the area. So I don't think that they want to have this battle every night.
Yeah. Good to see you, Shelby Talcott. Great journalism there. Come back soon, okay? And stay safe.
Thanks.